to an undersuit that he wore that had a little bit of weight in them so that the stumps would move. And you watch the whole episode and you can never tell. The audience will think that we digitally removed his arm. Then they see the behind the scenes and they go, wait a minute. Watch out!
And then there was one or two other zombie kills along the way as well. It was a really fun day.
G-Mark.
Andrea's in the woods trying to hold down the zombie, and she gets up and just hatchets another one right across the face.
She's a badass.
We had another very cool hammer kill by Tyrese, where we had what we call the goiter walker, who is a zombie extra who kind of had this kind of big goiter-ish face.
Action!
You know, that's another instance where we basically, you know, have the actor act and, you know, react as if she's getting impacted, and then we add a digital crater and then a bunch of additional gore and blood.
Crazy.
Chunkage.
I was wondering how they did that. That's very cool.
I feel like I really got a good arm workout because, I mean, I've been hacking with an axe all day long. You know, got a little Bengay.
What I love about what we do is, as a director, you get this canvas and you have all these paints. What it's all about is the balance of which tool you use. For me, because of my background, I always like switching it up in terms of do a little bit of CG here and a little bit of practical stuff here, because the more that you layer it and the more that you mix it up, the more real it feels. And I think what's really important to me as a filmmaker is always to keep the audience leaning in and guessing.
Oh, over. You want me at the podium, I see. That was it. You just got to see a bunch of stuff that no one's ever seen before, plus the first 10 minutes of the next episode. That was awesome. It's so fun to listen to 2,000 people react when Carl's like, blam, and everyone's like, holy shit. Like, that was such a great moment. So I'm going to bring out the panel now, and we're going to get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you are right. Please welcome to the stage, as Beth Green, Emily Kinney! Far end.
She's tiny.
Beth's father, Herschel Green, Scott Wilson!
I like him.
Showing off his leg.
The fake leg works great. As Glenn, Stephen Young! As Andrea, Lori Holden!
Woo! Oh, she looks cute.
As the katana-wielding Michonne, Denai Gurira!
She's a badass. Wow, that's her. She looks totally different.
Yeah, she cleans up good.
Wow.
Then there's a character I'm not as familiar with, Daryl Dixon. Norman Reedus!
Look at him. What a goofball. I wouldn't even have known that was her. What are you?
1,000 people just got spontaneously pregnant. Is what just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, as Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln!
Woo! What a goofball.
Special effects wizard and executive producer Greg Nicotero! Hey, Greg Nicotero.
Bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Please also welcome executive producer David Alpert! Another executive producer of the show, Gaylan Hurd!
She's produced everything. She did all the alien movies.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the guy who invented The Walking Dead with his own brain, Robert Kirkman!
Woo!
Everyone get mic'd. Whoa, my. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for coming out. This is a super exciting night. These people waited a long time, and you're all here, so thank you very much. Robert Kirkman, we're about to see, they saw the first 10 minutes, I believe, of episode 312, which is entitled Clear. And so, can you tell us a little bit about what they were seeing? Did you see where it cut off?
I did not see where it cut off.
I did.
Okay, Gail did. Go Gail, go. Guy in full body armor comes out, Carl goes, sit down, bitch, and then, that's Penguin style, and then that was it. Then it faded out, and then everyone lost their mind. So Gail, do you want to kind of tell us where we're at?
Well, I mean, you know, you got to see Carl step up. He's no longer Carl. Where's Carl? He, you know, there was a threat. He stepped up, and a little less of a threat right now.
That's what you got. You know, Carl needs a catchphrase like "Here's Carl," you know. Like, but I think it's really fun. I was talking to Andy Lincoln about it earlier. Just the idea that Carl is becoming kind of alpha now.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you think is going on in Carl's mind?
Well, I mean, Carl really is one of my favorite aspects of the comic and the show. I mean, watching this kid grow and change and evolve the way he has, and go from, you know, this kid that's almost a burden to this kid that's now this, you know, child soldier is really just a really cool exploration of the world of The Walking Dead, and seeing like how people grow and change over time. And you know, where we're going to go with this kid is, you know, some pretty exciting places. And, you know, this season really is just the beginning of his journey, and there's a lot of cool stuff ahead for him.
So when you're thinking about the characters, do you see them all as just that they have these separate lines that are their journeys, and sometimes they intersect or peel off, or how do you see the characters individually?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of that. I mean, you know, sometimes their lines stop because they die.
Why do you love to kill people on the show?
But I mean, it really is just you know, sitting down to think about these characters and their interactions, and you know, how their different personalities can move the stories forward. And I don't know what I'm saying.
It all makes sense. It doesn't matter. Like the show's been really incredible this season, and I think watching the alignment of the characters shift a little bit. Now the ideas of good and evil are a little more blurred.
Well, I think this show, first and foremost, is about, you know, the evolution of these characters due to the, you know, harshness of this world. And I think this season in particular, you know, you see characters, you know, like Glenn, you know, like Beth, Denai, you know, Michonne. All these characters are you know, changing and stepping up and doing new things. I love, like, comparing, you know, Glenn from season 1 to Glenn from season 2 to Glenn from season 3, and seeing that through line, and, you know, how it's all coming together. It's really cool.
Yeah, Glenn has evolved quite a bit from what was really just kind of like a delivery guy to a guy who was delivering harsh ass-kickings to zombies with chairs. David, Alpert, maybe this is an oversimplification, but is the governor evil?
No, I don't think that any one character could be summed up that way, right? It's sort of like, I think what we've seen is that all the characters have elements of good and bad and sort of evil in them, and that there's different things that are driving them in different directions, right? So, you know, what we see is Rick and the governor are sort of facing a lot of the same problems, right? So they're both leaders, they're both trying to keep their communities alive in tough times. And right now, you know, certainly where we are, the governor's actually doing a better job. Rick's sort of falling apart. He's in sort of a you know, unstable emotional state. You know, I think the governor, there is something in him that's good. I think there is a part of him that wants to sort of take care of people and be that father figure. But I feel like the situation, you know, with the zombie apocalypse has unleashed this thing in him, and the darkness has allowed him to grow and prosper.
I think the last good part of him was his eye and Michonne snapping out. Because I mean, you know, obviously Andrea's character is the closest to the governor. What do you think she... Are you sure about that? All I'm saying is no one else on the show has slept with him at this point. Oh my God, what?
Spoiler alert!
Now
Come on,
what
man.
someone's gonna do on the internet is Photoshop Norman in like naked in the bedroom with the knife.
Do it. It's already out.
But Lori, what do you think? You know, like what do you think Andrea sees the governor as at this point?
At this point?
Yeah, at this point in the show.
Bad man.
Really?
How could she not?
Because she obviously has some kind of feelings for him, right?
She did.
She didn't
She
go
did.
with him when she could have.
Until she went back to the prison and found out everything that she did. I mean, you know, let's be clear here. When she goes back and she sleeps with him, that's not because she's having a weak female moment and thinks he's handsome. I mean, she really thought that she could follow through with Carol's plan.
Carol's creepy vagina warfare plan.
You go, girl!
But it was fantastic.
That's what we call it in the When Carol walks out and is like, just very matter-of-factly, you go to bed with him and then you murder him. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that Andrea thought that she could do it, and tried to do it. I think sleeping with him disgusted her, and I think that she woke up and, you know, it's one thing to kill someone in self-defense and another to stand over someone's, you know, as they're sleeping and kill them in cold blood. And Andrea's never killed a human being before. And you can call that weak, or you can call that strong, because I think that, you know, just like Dale, I think that she has this idealism, and I think she's going to fight to the end to reach the humanity in both of these leaders.
Well, I think Andrea is an incredibly strong character, and I agree with, even though the governor was kind of setting her up, but I agree that she would make a pretty excellent leader. I mean, after everything that your character's been through, you still are trying to broker peace between these two groups. You still feel like there's hope, and the fact that your character has hope is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Nicotero, do you want to talk a little bit about, you directed episodes this season. How many?
I did 3 this season. I did the one that was last week, the Andrea episode, and then episode 5, which was when Rick goes crazy in the bowels of the prison, and then the second to last episode.